Well, hi there, and welcome to day 2 of the Locus FME World Tour event. As you can see, there's a slide showing which is today's agenda. So just before I do that, thanks again to all the presenters who you'll be hearing from today. Also, just an update: we're over 400, heading to 500 registrations. So this has proven to be really popular. So I hope you can share the news that there's some great presentations to listen to. So kicking off today will be Phuong Tran from Quotable Value. Darren's nearby as well there. Following her, we've got Patrick Booth from MEC Solutions, and then Sarah Singh from Wakakatahi NZTA. Having a little bit of a break there at lunch before Daniel Knutsford from Morpham Environmental comes to talk to us. And then I like this presentation from Darren and Pip from some of those really interesting FME case studies around the world. We'll close off today with Matthew June at Napier Port, who's going to talk to us as well. So look, it's an action-packed day of presentations. We're really pleased that you can join us. And as I say, there are recordings to be seen later on. So it's with great pleasure I introduce Phuong Tran. And Phuong, over to you and to Darren. I'm going to stop sharing my slides now. And good luck and catch you soon.
Thank you, John. Good morning, everybody. So welcome to day 2 of FME World Tour. I'm Phuong Tran. I'm Senior Data Analyst from Quotable Value, also for QV. FME has been helping our company transform our data processing in many platforms. And today I'm pleased to represent you one of our projects that FME utilizes for, which is CostBuilder, and the focus will be text or string manipulations. So a bit introduction to QV and CostBuilder. So QV is one of the biggest property valuations in New Zealand, and we just did revaluation for Auckland Council, as you see on the news. And CostBuilder is one of our main products beside property value. Here is a platform where we have provide national-wide rate and cost for everything for the constructions, from price of the nail to the price of per square meter of an office or warehouse. So we have these projects because we want to provide more customized analytical tools on this website and modern the website. So what we need to do is that we need to transform the raw data from the Excel into a relational database, and therefore the website will consume this, and all of the analytical tools customized will build on this data. So when we deal with the raw data, there are a few challenges that we face. One of them is that the mix of the HTML code. There's just one line of the name of the item, so they're very hard to distinguish the name and the description of each item. And most of the second challenge is that most of the data point where we have rate or cost, we have single value rate or cost for it. But sometimes we have the ranges. So as you see here, for facing break standard range, we have 196 to 217 dollar per square meter. So that is a vertical range. And the lower one, you can see that we have a horizontal range where the administrative office can range from 2,050 to 2,350 per square meter. So you can see that the data is flying from different direction, is many different form and formats. The third challenge we have is that because all of the items, around 15,000 items, are all in one column and vertical columns, and there's very difficult to distinguish whether they belong to a different level. So for example, in this case, we have brickwork is level 1. We have proprietary bag mortar and other mortar is level 2. We have level 3 and then level 4. So even though we can filter each of these items to different level, it's very difficult to identify whether the natural color per 30 kilometer, 30 kilo bags is belong to level 3 for clay brick coverage 38 to 45 bricks or 57 to 62 bricks. So because they are all in the vertical in one columns, and therefore we use some of the functionality. I'm not going to show details into the workspace, but I'm going to highlight some of the functionality and how we go to overcome some of these challenges. So the first one, we have the attribute manager, as you know, is from Mark Island platform. Attribute manager is one of the most favorite transformer from FME because it's packed of a lot of functionality in there. You can save a lot of space and a lot of transformer within one thing. You can use string replacer, as sometimes we use both of them. But the one I want to emphasize here that maybe it has been overlooked is the regular expressions. So this is the very versatile tools for natural language processing. It make things that, you know, like when you deal with string, you want to find a specific characters like the comma at the end of the sentence. You want to find the specific text between specific characters. You want to extract information of daytime within a long strings. Then regular expression is really, really good for it. And I found regular expression has been a major help for this project. Besides that, we have, of course, text filler, where we can filter different level of the items. And one of the other transformer that I really like that is helpful for this project, particularly challenge 3, is at the counter. So with the counter, I can assign unique and sequence ID to each item, and therefore I can deal with them. And how I'm going to deal with them, I'm going to go to the next slide. So in this example, we see that let's assume that the administrative civic is level 1 and the ID is 23. We have level 2 administrative and civics is 24 and 30 correspondingly. And for example, I have the town hall, which is level 3, but I don't know whether town hall is belong to administrative level 2 or civics level 2. So I did a little bit of calculation based on the ID that counter assigned to each of the items. So 28 deduct to 24 is 4, and 28 deduct to 30 is minus 2. So in this case, of course, minus 2 is eliminated, and with number 4, we can confidently say that town halls belong to administrative grouping level 2, which is one grouping higher. Now we go to another example, which is library city, almost in the bottom of this list. So the library city ID is 35, and if I do the same subtraction that I did earlier, I have 7 and 5. Now both of them are positive. So in this case, I'm going to choose the minimum value in this range, which is 5, and 7 is eliminated. So which means that the library city belongs to group civic 2, not administrative. So apply these two logics with the counter ID that I apply for each of the items. I'll be able to identify correctly 15,000 of items to correct table, correct level. And in FME, what I do is that I use attributes manager to do the subtractions calculations. I use a tester to filter out all the negative value, like minus 2. Aggregators, I need to group them into group level 1. So in this case, that if I group them together, then this library city can be only between administrative and civic group. And then the last one is a list range extractor, which help me to extract the minimum value within this group. And the next thing, of course, I use SQL executor to help me write the data into the relational database, which we were designed as you see in this slide. So the result, we have successfully written out 1.2 million data points that have been cleaned and transformed. There's 15 items that have been organized into right level groups and tables. And we're able to rerun this for every quarter of the year because the rec and codes are updated quarterly. And as you see that at the beginning when we were talking about the purpose of the project, so here we have the Excels on the left-hand side, we transform it into the relational database nicely, and then the website, that relational database fit into website, and where we're going to build our customized analytical tools. Finally, I want to say that FME is very powerful, very useful for spatial data. FME has been helping our company in terms of spatial projects, but the reason why I want to present this piece of work today is that FME can be very efficient and very helpful for non-spatial data, for example, like string in this case. FME has been really a great help for our company. Some of the projects that we are running at the moment is the data integration process automation, where we have a process automatically go to CoreLogic website, download the data, save the data into the correct folder, process the data according to the property value rules, and then process into our database. We use FME to calculate missing rental value from NB IE, and we are working with spatial and non-spatial to have the first nationwide consent database. We're working on automation to read sales PDF rigging. So there are many, many interesting projects that we're working on, and FME has been a really great help for it. Thank you for listening to my presentation and my work today. I will be happy to answer any questions that you have, and maybe share some of the work that I have. Yeah. Thank you. And go back here. So let me see if there are any questions. Okay, if there's no questions, my experience with supercar that that Locus provide. It was really funny because it's my first time to go with a supercar. Obviously, I was screaming a lot. If you watch the video, I was screaming a lot. It was really funny. But the most thing is that I really appreciate for the opportunity to talk to the FME experience. I'm the big fan of FME, and now I'm a fan of supercar as well. It's working with FME, just like riding the supercar. It's very thrilling. It's very exciting, and I cannot wait to hear more presentation and more work coming into today and tomorrow on our world tour. All right, awesome. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Mark. I do vote for the favorite transformer on your website. Cheers. Do I stop sharing?
Yeah, just stop broadcast. Stop right hand corner of the red one. Yeah, that's it.